folks, it's been a while. Where have we been? Anyone seen a phone on Bourbon Street? Anyways, what have the buds been doing? They've been doing pretty well. All your question answered. Right here on the OZone.
You're in the offensive zone, your place for Leafs hockey.
Hey folks, welcome to the offensive zone. That's Coach. That's KD. I'm the Devo. We're going to talk to you about all things Leafs. We got a lot to recap. Got some vacations going on. Got about 4 games we're going to catch up on. Going all the way back to the Sabres game. Let's get things started. We've been MIA, but the Leafs have been keeping things rolling. Let's try to recap. KD, what'd you see? What'd you like?
I like the consistency of this team. Like we're starting to see it day in and day, game in, game out. A bit of a panic at the beginning of the year when we were all jumping off the ledge. But since that time, since the big blowout, they've shown they can handle play in on the road, at home, play solid, and it looks good. I've been pleased that the D and the team in general has been able to handle like big forecheck teams and big heavy teams. That seems to not be giving them a problem. So are we seeing a more matured Leaf team? Look out, we might. We're definitely showing signs of it. So I think that part's been good.
Yeah, great point, Coach.
Well, it's been forever since we did the last one, but my prediction there was a 5-3 win in Riley scores. It's a 5-4 win in Riley scores. But so I like that part. I got to give myself some kudos, I guess. But look, I'm with you, Kev. The Leafs have been playing great, and they're playing the type of D that can win you games when it matters more later. So I like that the angst has set in that we haven't done anything in the playoffs in forever. Because earlier in the year, the angst was, we're not even going to make the playoffs. Now, we look pretty decent, and now it's a different kind of angst. It's the angst I'm used to. The other part of it is, so I'll go off the cuff here a little. I like the fact that I recognize this guy. So I'm watching the Leaf game, and they play the anthem, and here's this guy in a Leaf jacket and Leaf tie. I'm like, well, that guy looks snazzy. And yet something back here is like, I think I know that guy. And then I'm watching young Kyle Bukauskas. Well, by the way, what a salad on that guy. Did you see that guy's flow? And who's the background? It's the same guy. I'm like, I said to Mrs. Coach, it's right over dinner. I made a grilled salad and rice, which was lovely. I said, I know that guy. And so I went back in the archives, and here it is. This is a game in Anaheim, 2017. It was the same day I met Joe Bowen, and I got his picture. So me and my buddy Frank, we hit the maker's mark pretty hard. I don't know if you can see that on my face, but I met this guy at the pond. Got his picture, and he could not wait to get away from me. But anyway, I like this. I like the fact that I recognize this guy. And look, 3-1. We'll take 3-1 over any 4-game stretch anytime. Great.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to say, one of the things I have to like, because early on I kind of ripped him a little bit, but the play of Kerfoot's been pretty outstanding. He's there. He's in the play. He's winning some puck battles, which was always kind of a problem with him around the boards. He's always been a skater, but he's making plays with his stick close to the net, and that's what you got to have for a top 6 guy. Love the play of the third line. They've been great over that stretch, generating points, tilting the ice, getting the puck back, winning battles in their own zone, and getting the puck out. And then, Morgan Riley. You called it, Coach. We needed some goals from some D-men a few podcasts ago, and Riley's really been looking like he might be playing for Team Canada. So that's what I like. What didn't you like? Coach, we'll start with you.
Not much to not like over that stretch. They played well. I thought they actually played well in the Pittsburgh game, too, that they lost. But here's what I didn't like. The pain the mental anguish I felt being a beer league defenseman, seeing Sandin get toe dragged. It reminded me how embarrassing it is to get toe dragged. So I'm going to take you through 2 seconds of video, okay, in 4 pictures. The first picture here, here's Sandin. He's playing Jeff Carter, maybe a potential cross-ice pass. Sandin is in great shape here. Inside the dot, got inside position all day long. We fast forward a picture. It's still 14-16 on the clock, top left. Carter comes in. Sandin kind of pivots his hips to maybe take the pass away, but he's still great. Carter's not scoring from there. The only guy in the league scoring from there is Austin Matthews. Let him take that shot. Does he? No. He doesn't. Because 1 second later, he gets toe dragged. And he's in no man's land in this picture. He's so beat. How did that happen in 1 second? And, of course, the next shot is these guys have their hands in the air. It's a goal. It reminds me of playing Sunday Night Beer League hockey here. We play against a guy. Here's his picture here. Wes Mason. He's on a different team in my league. 2nd round pick of the Devils. Now, that's not fair to play against the old coach. But he toe drags a minimum of 12 times a game. And you know it's coming. We all know it's coming. And he puts it out there. And it's like he's stirring up the cobra and the thing. You don't want to make eye contact, but you do. And then you're beat. The guy gets me every single time. Leaf fan, by the way, good fan of the podcast. But Wes, take me wide one time, for goodness sake. Make me look good. Anyway, not much to not like about this stretch. That was it for me.
Yeah. KD, what did you not like?
As far as like the big picture stuff, like if we talked about Leafs getting ready for the playoffs, I find when things aren't going well for them on the offense, they tried the extra pass. They tried too much. They tried perfection on the shots. They're looking for quality when things aren't going right. And I think you have to do the opposite. You got to go for quantity. You got to get more pucks to the net, less passes, drive the net, get the greasy, get the bumpy, bad bounces, the bounces off the knee pads, the Corey Perry type goals. And I think they need to do that more. So things aren't going, it's great when things are going well. You're doing fine, rag the puck a bit, make that extra pass, great. Things you're struggling, pucks towards net, bodies towards net, and make it simple. And let's go for quantity over quality. That's, nitpicking, but, when we get down the stretch and we get into the playoffs, that's what we got to it's got to concentrate on. So
I'll tell you what, I don't like the Penguins. It's funny. Keefe has kept his lineups, pretty consistent, certainly early on in the season. And then after that 7-1 drubbing to the Pens, he kind of put the lines in a bit of a blender, and banged things around a little bit. Things started clicking. Things started to materialize. Things started to settle down a little bit. And then last Saturday, put basically the exact same lineup up against the Pens, except for Dermott, I guess, was probably the only difference. And they lost again. I mean, it was actually a pretty good game. I thought the Leafs actually were quite solid in their own end. They were only susceptible to the speed on the rush. It wasn't Eight's best game in either of those two games for sure. Muzzin had a little bit of a tough time on the rush there. Some of the young Swedes didn't look particularly good either on the rush. But when Pittsburgh tried to establish anything in Toronto's end, they broke it out and came out with numbers almost every time. So they're playing sound defensively in their own zone. They're just a little bit weak off the rush, and they seem susceptible to speed. Katie?
Yeah, so I think, one thing I think we talked about it, they're handling the aggressive teams, the teams that are heavy, the teams that are forechecking hard. If you look at the teams like that, the Golden Knights and Flyers and Flames and Rangers, they virtually have won all those games. So that's a good sign. They're being able to handle the physicality of it. The teams that they'll clog the middle and trap are Carolina, Kings, Penguins, twice. They haven't won any of those games. So that is the type of hockey, the two sides. You're going to have to deal with the heavy physicality in the playoffs, and you got to deal with the clogging and the counterpunching. And they still haven't, obviously it's easier said than done. That's the stuff they have to work on. You have to stay disciplined. You got to improve your power play to score when you get the opportunities, because these guys won't let you have a whole lot of good quality shots. So you can't lose your head. You can't make mistakes. And that just comes with experience. But hopefully by the end of the season, they're playing these teams a little bit better. And they're getting some goals, getting those greasy goals. That's increasing the quantity from all angles and crashing the net.
Right. Good point. Something to look for. All right, this is a little fun we'd like to have here. A little thing we call Where's Coach? Okay, Coach, what have you been up to?
Well, I've had a couple trips since we got going. I went to Arizona State playing USC. Just a picture of the field. Pretty nice. They beat USC, which was great. But that wasn't the big deal. So our daughter's there, and this is a shot of her sorority house. She's moving in there next year. That's great. What's the worst that could happen there, right, fellas? And then, but the biggest thing here, take a look at this. Mrs. Coach and I crashed a frat party before that game. Here's me at the keg. So they said they put it out there. Hey, anybody who wants to bring their parents because it was family weekend, go ahead and bring them. I'm like, I'm going. And my daughter's like, no, you're not. I'm like, yes, I am. So we went. I hit the keg, and so some young man comes up to me. He goes, you having a good time, sir? I'm like, listen, why wouldn't you guys charge money to get in here? Well, the beers get real cheap. We get it out of our dues. I'm like, buddy, I'd have paid $100 to be here. This is fantasy camp for me. Anyway, it was a good time. But that's not the real deal. I also went to Boston and I watched the Raptors game. Here I am. Here's TD Garden. I'm in the belly of the beast. By the way, that picture here is the roof. I'm in the last row. And the Raptors got drilled. Wasn't all that fun. But good to get in Boston and get my feet wet because we're going back there for the playoffs this year. That's not the real story, though. Were you fellas on the road this week?
Well, that's something. KD, what do you think?
Well, we took a Divine Clan and a couple of stragglers down to New Orleans, and we ran the town for a couple of days and got out of there. It was close, but no man got left behind. We barely escaped by the skin of our teeth, but it was good. How did you enjoy it, Mike?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at no comment. Great time down in the Big Easy. Anyways, there you have it, folks. Leafs went 3 for 4 over that stretch and kept things going. Smash that like button, hit subscribe. If you want to join us right here on the OZone.